detained from the flames. It's your flesh melting like candle wax. And that was all over my body. I had about over 100 surgeries done in my lifetime. But through all of this physical trauma that I had gone through, compared nowhere to the amount of emotional trauma that I received as an effect afterwards. In November 20th, 2003, my sister and I were playing in my backyard. We needed some light as it was getting dark outside. We had no flashlights, so we thought that it might be a good idea to get a candle. Joanna put the candle on one of the hay bale stairs that we had made to get into the top of the fort, and I climbed up to the top of this fort. Joanna has to leave and use the restroom, and I'm sitting at the top of this fort with the candle below me, and I call my dog Max. So Max comes running to the shed, and as he climbs up the stairs, his tail knocks over the candle. And by the time he gets to my lap, I'm already surrounded by fire. Joanna comes back outside. She's only 7 and I'm 4 at this time. And she sees the shed engulfed in flames. And she's looking at me and she's saying, "Jump, John, jump!" I said I couldn't. I was too scared because there was fire all below me. And being 4 years old, I was too high up to even jump. And so Joanna finds a water bucket at the side of the shed. And she tries to throw it on the fire, but it does no good because it just catches her hair on fire. So she has to put her hair out with the rest of the water in the bucket. And she says, "John, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get our older sister Leah." When Joanna leaves, I'm already passed out from the smoke. And the fire just gets worse and bigger, engulfing the whole shed, including me and my dog. Leah comes outside. She's asking Joanna, where's John? Where is he?" And Joanna says, "He's trapped in the back of the shed in the fort, and he can't get out." Leah sees the shed, and she closes her eyes and holds her breath. She runs in the fire, and she pulls me with all of her might off of the fort. And the reason why I was so heavy was because my dog was sitting on top of me, and wherever he was sitting on me, I didn't get burned. I wasn't breathing, and I was completely disfigured. She's looking at me, and she says, and looks at the sky too, "Please God, let him breathe." And I gasped for breath. Then she brings me inside of the house and puts me in the bathtub full of cold water, and I just remember looking at my arms like, get it off, because it was so hot. But she told me to stop doing that because it was gonna make more of my skin fall off. The pain from the flames is almost like you're sweating, but instead of seeing your sweat, it's your flesh melting like candle wax. And that was all over my body. The fire department comes inside of the house and like, "Where's the burn victim?" And they look at Leah. "No, it's not me. It's him in the bathroom." So the firefighters come inside of the bathroom and the ambulance comes too. And they bring me to Le Bonheur Children's Hospital. And the doctors tell my parents that I only have 8 hours to live, but my best chance of survival would be if I were to be airlifted to Shriners, Texas, in Galveston. And the Shriners Hospital had a helicopter come and pick me up, and I was put in a medically induced coma for about 6 months, where I had about over 100 surgeries done in my lifetime. But through all of this physical trauma that I had gone through, compared nowhere to the amount of emotional trauma that I received as an effect afterwards. It never really affected me until I was about a teenager, because I always had such a supportive family, and they always loved me and saw me for who I was. Being burned, it never really affected my psyche until I got older. And of course I struggled with learning how to adapt. I was able to learn how to do things like draw and feed myself because I had a lot of therapy. I couldn't find any friends because I didn't know how to make friends because of my differences. And I was homeschooled, so I was pretty sheltered. I was friends with my family and my siblings most of my childhood. And they helped me out with learning how to make friends outside of that. I also went to a burn camp for burn survivors, and that's where I learned how to socialize and make true friends for the first time that were not my family. I've learned how to cope through my struggle a lot with humor and being able to learn how to laugh at myself, because nobody likes a person that is always finding ways to be offended. People like to be around happy people. I used to question all the time why I looked the way I did, and why didn't God just kill me in the fire? Why did I have to survive if I'm just gonna look the way I do and not like everybody else? All of that is futile. It's already happened, and there is nobody else like me. And there is beauty in pain, and I experienced a lot of pain. So I realized that the more that I looked in the mirror and looking at things that I didn't like about myself, I focused on the things that I did like about myself and could appreciate it. And whenever I stopped putting the negative connotations about certain scars or certain parts of my body and just started appreciating all of it instead, seeing that I am a piece of art just like everybody else. And if I can't like myself, how am I going to expect someone else to like who I am? So I started going to the gym a lot in my teenage years. Being from like 80 pounds, I gained about 50 pounds, so I was like 130. I'm never gonna be as big as I could be because of the loss of muscle tissue, but I'm building what I have left, and I've never been more happier with myself doing that. Another thing that has helped me tremendously for my support was Courageous Faces Foundation. They found me when I was about 15 years old. The CEO, Trish Morris, helped me go to the World Burn Congress. And that's a place where a lot of burn people come to share revolutions about research and burn surgeries and burn psychotherapy or just psychology and mental health in general. One of the mission statements of Courageous Faces Foundations is to improve the quality of life of people with rare and severe medical conditions. And I was one of those people that had a severe medical condition that they helped out. And it's also what I'm an ambassador of now. And that's our goal right now, is to look for other people that are struggling like I used to, or need love like I needed. And we're able to provide that in this foundation. And I'm very honored to be a part of it.